Alright, today we're going to brew a oatmeal cookie ale. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to take, I got 8.5 pounds of mild malt. I've got 3 pounds of amber malt and half a pound of brown malt. Then I'm going to take a pound of rolled oats, and I'm going to cook these at 300 degrees kind of until they start smelling like cookie. I'm going to add that to the mash. And then to thin out the beer a little bit, I'm going to use dark brown sugar, which I'm going to add to the boil. For hops, I'm going to be using Northern Brewer hops. I've got 1 ounce. I'm going to use half an ounce for bittering, the other half ounce for 15-minute addition, so flavor aroma. And the last thing is yeast. I'm going to be using California ale yeast. I'm going to be reusing my yeast from my prior batch. Begin by pouring all of your oatmeal into a cooking pan and distribute it evenly. Then take your oatmeal in a preheated oven at 300 degrees. You're going to leave this sitting in here until it starts to smell like cookies. In the meantime, start pouring all your grains into your mash tun. After about 20 or 30 minutes, your oatmeal should be ready. And at that point, you're just going to take your oatmeal and just throw it on top of your grains, just like that. Once you're done with that, you're going to begin mashing in. So you're going to add water at a ratio of 1 quart of water per pound, and you're going to strike at 157 degrees. You're going to mash for about 45 minutes. So add your water, stir in, and leave your mash resting for about 45 minutes. At the beginning of the mash, you may want to do any water adjustments as necessary. Make sure that you mix in any salts that you add and wait about 15 minutes before you take a pH reading. After you leave your mash sitting for 45 minutes, you're going to want to mash out to 170 degrees and start collecting your wort until your runnings become clear. Any cloudy runnings you just throw back into the mash until everything is clear, and then you just begin lautering and sparging. Lautering basically means to drain your wort. Sparging basically means to rinse off any sugars from your grains by adding extra water. Once you're done collecting all of your wort, you're going to bring it to a boil. Make sure that you have a nice slow rolling boil before you begin to do anything. Make sure your dog approves of the boil if necessary. Once you have a slow rolling boil, start adding your first set of hops. This should be at the beginning, and you're going to start counting down 90 minutes at this point forward. You also want to add your sugar at the beginning of the boil. When you have 20 minutes left in the boil, you're going to add your next set of hops. Once you're done with the boil, turn off the heat, send your wort into a whirlpool, and throw in your wort chiller and begin cooling down your wort. Make sure you cover up your pot, and when you reach your yeast pitching temperature, you're going to start collecting all of your wort, just throwing it into your fermenter. I use a strainer to aerate my wort. The strainer basically creates a splashing effect. Once you're done with that, pitch your yeast. I'm using about 2 jars that I collected from my previous batch. and we're going to ferment this at about 68 degrees for 2 weeks. Stay tuned for the tasting of the beer, and please don't forget to like, comment, and share this video.
Like,
just randomly combine caramel, malt, hops, and you're fine.
Right there. Let's do it.
All right, that's that.
We'll see. We're missing two.